morning, students. Today we are going to see one new chapter, chapter number 3, data handling. Take your mathematics book, page number 57. Data handling. It's a very simple, children. Whatever we need to do in our field, okay, whichever things that's required with the data, with the requirement means we need to take our data. For example, in our class, who is very talented in mathematics, who is very talented in English, who is very talented in science, like that. When we want to take a list, okay, according to the name wise, according to the mark wise, subject wise, everything which we are taking the name list, that's called on data. Now if you are going any sports competition or events, anything, if you are going means in the board, for example, we can take a cricket we can take. In that you can see that notice board like how many overs, how much run they scored, how many wickets, everything they'll put in the clear detail. So that is called on data. Now in news channel, if you are going means weather climate report they will give you. Okay, Tiruchi, all the 32 districts also they will put, and they will show the district wise how the weather climate is. In Celsius they will show. Some channel they will show in Fahrenheit. That's called on data. So everything. Now how many are wearing red color dress? We can take, when we are taking a list, that's called on data. Okay, so easily we can count and tell. Easily we can understand how many are reading, how many are not reading, like that. List all. Okay, according to that which we are reading, the chapter name is called data handling. Now we'll see what all the things are there. Okay, take your maths book, page number 56. Introduction. In your previous classes, you have dealt with various types of data. You have learned to collect data, table it, and put it in the form of bar graphs. Yes. Last year, when your previous class from 4th standard, it will come like that. You will put and you will draw a bar graphs. Now they will give the name Mala, Malar, like that. The name something 10, 20, 30, 40, like that. They will give the marks subject wise. So Mala 20 mark means you will draw a 20 marks. Malar 40 marks means you will draw 40 marks. So this is the graph is called the name bar graph. Okay, so collect data and tabulate and put it in the form of bar graphs. The collection, recording and presentation of data help us organize our experiences and draw inferences from them. In this chapter, we will take one more step towards learning how to do this. You will come across some more kinds of data and graphs. You have seen several kinds of data through newspapers, magazines, television and other sources. You also know that all data give us some sort of information. Yes, all the data, it's giving some sort of information. Okay, through newspapers, magazines, television and other sources. You also know that all data give us some sort of information. Some information every data will give us. Let us look at some common forms of data that you come across. What are the things you come across? We'll see. See, temperature of cities. As I told you, temperature of district wise I told you. This they gave you city wise. Ahmedabad, Amritsar, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Jaipur, Jammu, Mumbai. All the city they gave the temperature, maximum temperature and minimum temperature. By seeing this, easily we can come to know, oh, that city is as this much temperature, like that. Easily we can find it. And next, see sports. I told cricket, in that they gave you football. World Cup 2006. See, Ukraine beat Saudi Arabia by 4:0. The ratio they gave. Okay, Spain beat Tunisia by 3:1. Switzerland beat Togo by 2:0. like that. So this is all called only data. Now data showing weekly absentees in a class. Monday 3 absentees, Tuesday 1 absent, Wednesday no absent. So absent is in the class which we are writing in our class, roll number, absent, present, that is also called one data. Okay, everything. Next page. What do these collections of data tell you? What do these collections of data tell you? For example, you can say that the highest maximum temperature was in Jammu on 26/2006, or we can say that on Wednesday no child was absentees. Okay, see, in this record we are seeing means maximum temperature, it was Jammu, no absentees, Wednesday. So by seeing the data we can tell the answer, what question they are asking, according to that we can tell the answer. So can we organize and present this data in a different way so that their analysis and interpretation becomes better? We shall address such questions in this chapter. First, collecting data. The data about the temperatures of cities can tell us many things, but it cannot tell us the city which had the highest maximum temperature during the year. To find that, we need to collect data recording the highest maximum temperature reached in each of these cities during the year. In that case, the temperature chart of one particular date of the year as given in the table 3.1 will not be sufficient. Okay, this shows that a given collection of data may not give us a specific information related to that data. For this, we need to collect data keeping in mind that specific information. In the above case, the specific information needed by us was about the highest maximum temperature of the cities during the year, which we could not get from table 3.1. Okay, from the table 3.1. This is 3.1, children. Okay. Thus, before collecting data, we need to know what we would use it for. Absolutely true. Before collecting data, we need to know what we would use it for. Okay, for what we are going to use this. Given below are a few situations. You want to study the performance of your class in mathematics. Okay, you want to study the performance of your class in mathematics. Performance of Indian in football or in cricket. Female literacy rate in given area. Or number of children below the age of 5 in the families around you. Number of children below the age of 5 in the families around you. What kind of data would you need in the above situations? Unless and until you collect appropriate data. Unless and otherwise you collect appropriate data, you cannot know the desired information. Okay, without collecting this information, you cannot tell the answer. You must know the mark list. When it is the performance of your class in mathematics, you need to know all the students' marks. You need to take a mark list, then only we can find. Performance of India in football or cricket means we should know how many goals. Female literacy rate. We need to take a census, how much ladies they study, literacy rate. Percentage wise, number of children below, your surrounding area. How many members are? Less than 5. So what kind of data would you need to about the situations? You need to take the information. You cannot know the desired information. What is the appropriate data for each? Discuss with your friends and identify the data you would need for each. Some of this data is easy to collect and some difficult. Yes, some of the data easily you will collect. That means performance of your class in mathematics. Your class strength is obviously 13 members is very less. So easily you can collect your class wise strength, and according to that you can tell your class marks. Now, organization of data. Collecting data is this. Okay, for example, they gave you some 4 points. Next, organization of data. When we collect data, we have to record and organize it. Okay, when we collect data, when we are collecting the things, we should keep on record. Why do we need? Why do we need to do that? Consider the following example. Mrs. Neelam, class teacher, wanted to find how children had performed in English. She writes down the marks obtained by the students in the following way. Actually, she wrote the marks like that. Whether is it understanding? No, it will get confused for her itself. For teacher itself, it will get confused whose mark it is, how much they scored, because no name, nothing, no roll number wise, who scored, how much mark. Even we will get confused by writing like this. So, in this form, the data was not easy to understand. Okay, not easy to understand. She also did not know whether her impression of the students matched their performance. Whether is it correct or not, she herself also is getting confused. So, Neelam colleague helped her organize the data in the following way. She wrote, now roll number she wrote, name she wrote, and she wrote the out of 50 how much marks they scored she has written. So now easily she can read how much they have scored. So in this form, Neelam was able to know which student has got how many marks. But she wanted still more. So Deepika, one more teacher, they suggested another way to organize this data. One more way they are writing. What is the one more way? It means according to the mark wise. Who scored highest mark and who scored lowest mark, like the descending order. Descending order, she is writing the marks. So now Neelam was able to see who had done the best and who need help. Okay, who had done the best also easily can find. Who need help also we can find easily by the mark list of this. So many kinds of data we come across and are put in tabular form. Our school rolls progress report, index in the notebooks, temperature record, and many others are all in tabular form. Can you think of a few more data that you come across in tabular form? Okay, you can think yourself and you can give me the answers. Okay, in activity note you can write. When we put data in a proper table, it becomes easy to understand and interpret. Yes, proper table if you are making like this, it will be very easy to understand. Okay. This when we are studying regular school, we can follow this. Okay. All the weight we will take, and who is the heaviest, what is the most common weight, what is the difference between your weight and your best friend weight, everything. When we are taking weight, by this we will make the data of the students. Okay, data of the students weight. Next, representative values. You might be aware of the term average and would have come across statements involving the term average in your day-to-day life. Yes, average, the word you will be knowing. What is your average mark? What is your average mark in Tamil? What is your average mark in maths? Like that, they will ask you average. Isha spends on an average about 5 hours daily for her studies. Isha spends on an average of about 5 hours daily for her studies. Daily for her studies, she is spending 5 hours. The average temperature, next page children, the average temperature at this time of the year is about 40 degrees Celsius. Average temperature, see we are all using average the word. Average temperature at this time of the year is about 40 degrees Celsius. The average age of peoples in my class is 12 years. Average age of people in my class is 12 years. The average attendance. Average attendance of students in a school during its final examination was 98%. Many more of such statements could be there. Think about the statements given above. Do you think that the child in the first statement studies exactly for 5 hours daily? Or is the temperature of the given place during the particular time always 40 degrees? Or is the age of people in that class 12 years? You think whether do you think the child first statement studies only daily 5 hours daily she is studying? Whether daily every year, see, average temperature at this time of the year about 40 degrees Celsius. Studies exactly 5 hours daily, place during the particular time always 40 degrees. Each people in the class 12 years. Okay, obviously no, not. Then what do these statements tell you? The statements all what it is telling you. By average, we understand that Isha usually studies for 5 hours. Usually studies for 5 hours. On some days, she may study for less number of hours, and on the other days, she may study longer. Usually she used to study 5 hours. Some days she may study less also. Some days she may study more also. Similarly, the average temperature of 40 degrees Celsius means that very often the temperature at this time of the year is around 40 degrees Celsius. Sometimes it may be less than 40 degrees Celsius, and at other times it may be more than 40 degrees Celsius. Thus, we realize that average is a number that represents or shows the central tendency of a group of observations or data. Since average lies between the highest and the lowest value of the given data, so we say average is a measure of the central tendency of the group of data. Different forms of data need different forms of representative or central value to describe it. One of these representative values is the arithmetic mean. Very important word, children. Arithmetic mean. You will learn about the other representative values in the later part of the chapter. Okay. So till now we have seen data means what, introduction, collection of data, and what we are collecting, that we are doing the organization of data. We are arranging the terms, organization of data. Next, the representative values. Average means what? That we have seen. Next, we are going to see arithmetic mean, that we will see in next class, children. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.